Welcome! In this video, I'm going to introduce you to the process of reading critically. Reading critically means reading a text not only to understand what it says, but also to analyze how it is written and why, and to evaluate its ideas and reasoning. Here is a quick overview of the steps to reading critically. First, prepare to read. Second, read the text. Third, reread the text. Fourth, annotate the text with marginal notes. Fifth, analyze and evaluate the text with questions. On the following slides, I will go over these steps in more detail. Preparing to read. In order to get the best understanding possible of the text you are reading, you should begin by understanding the context. For example, who was the author? Where and when was the text first published? Who was the intended audience? You should also think about what you already know and believe about the topic of the text. Write down your thoughts and come back to them later. Reading the text. The first time that you read the text, focus on understanding the main idea. If you see a word that you don't know, you can underline it or write it down, but don't stop to look up every new word. Keep reading. Also, don't get stuck on challenging passages. You can make a note of them and come back to them later. After you finish reading, try writing a short summary of the text to test how well you have understood its main ideas. And after the first reading, you can go ahead and look up new vocabulary words and write down the definitions. Rereading the text. Always reread the text at least one more time. It is essential to read more than once in order to get a deeper understanding of the text. As you read, analyze the text by asking questions and taking notes. On the following slides, I'm going to explain in more detail how to do that. Annotating the text. Annotating the text means marking it with your thoughts and reactions. Think of this as being in conversation with the text. It's best to do this with a paper copy if possible. Here are a few ways that you can do this. Underline or highlight sentences that seem especially important, memorable, or well-worded. If you think of questions or criticism, write them in the margins. Write down observations about the text. For example, why are the ideas written in this order? Or why are certain points emphasized? If you think of possible answers, go ahead and write them down. And finally, analyzing and evaluating the text with questions. You should ask yourself the following questions as you read. What does the writer want to say? In other words, what is their thesis, or the main point that they want to make? Why do they want to say this? In other words, what is their purpose? How effectively do they support their points, especially for the target audience? What assumptions does the author make? How is the text organized and why? And what is your personal reaction to the text? For example, which points do you agree with? Which points do you disagree with? Do you find the text convincing or not, and why? If you follow these steps with any academic reading that you do, it will help you to reach a deeper understanding and to critically engage with what you are reading. Thank you for watching.